Welcome back to another Theme Tuesday, and in this episode, it is Sinestro versus Green Lantern. This was a really fun one with the Green Lantern and Sinestro. Both of the characters are light-based, so I decided to do some light painting. So, waited for the sun to set, got a black background set up, and figured I'd grab both of my two 7-inch McFarlane figures and did a bunch of different shots. Got the camera on the tripod to do a bunch of different exposures because I wanted to do some with like a green light as the background light, some with a yellow to represent Sinestro, some with just kind of a more neutral white light just to expose various parts. And then now in Photoshop, I'm going to go over, and once I've got it stacked and once I've got it grouped together, because I basically did a front and back light for each character and, kept everything on the tripod. I decided, since these were both 7-inch figures, this was the most interesting combination because I do have another Green Lantern. I've got a couple Hal Jordans, but they're the DC Direct 6-inch figures. So they didn't scale quite as well with this Sinestro. And so here is my most basic, cleaning up the background, getting rid of the armatures and all of that. That took a little bit of time. The pose itself was really easy, just a couple of them on the armatures. Like I said, against the black background. Nice and easy to do. It was just the biggest thing was the stacking and making sure everything was as locked down as possible so that I could do all of these multiple exposures as we're going to get into right now. So here's our basic, that is the backlight for the Green Lantern figure. Got that one good. We had the Sinestro backlit, just so I could get that rim lighting the outside and the backlight, and then cleaning up the armature itself, which obviously takes a little bit of time and a little precision. And then we get more into the fun, using the multiple exposures. We got the backlight pretty good on him. And so then Sinestro, I had the backlight. Here's the foreground light. What elements did we want to show off? So we want to show off the chest a little bit, but keep the background and the rim light on his back. Not worrying about the cape too much right now, because I knew I wanted kind of the glow from his ring to show off. So this is where we come in here. We're using the yellow glow. Let's paint that in. Do it a little with a bigger round soft brush, so it's just that goldish kind of look right on where it's going to be coming from. And then we'll do the exact same for the Green Lantern, coming from just with a little bit of green hints. And now here's the fun part of actually painting with the light. And this is where I got in kind of a creative headspace of like, I knew I wanted just the beam itself to be coming straight from the ring. To start, it was a little bright at first, so I then decided to use the other layer that was a little darker. This is why you do so many exposures. So that's more of a natural green as opposed to more blown out fully white. And then this was more of a darker yellow. And then, so we wanted both to be kind of aiming at each other. And this is where things got, where I got a lot more creativity and a lot more options. I wanted the beams to be kind of creating and shooting towards each other and blending together. And I had a lot of fun playing around with different variations of this. And I ended up using this one as the final. So make sure to like and subscribe here on the YouTube channel, and follow me on all other social media at Knocked Out Films. Thanks.